Barking FC TV, here with manager Craig Edwards. Craig, first of all, welcome back.
Thank you.
Second of all, we finished in the playoffs last year, reaching the semi-final. What was your assessment overall of the season overall?
Generally, I thought we did pretty well. You know, bearing in mind, you know, we sort of finished, I think it was 11 points clear of 6th place. So we made the playoffs when, you know, at the beginning, it looked sort of, there was 3 or 4 teams all fighting for those last few places. So to get there so clearly was very good. Really disappointed with the performance in the semi-final. I thought that too many of the boys didn't show up on the night. And, you know, we said about it that, you know, never walk off with regrets. You know, and the big players turn up at the big games. And I thought that Takeley on the night looks more like one of my sides than we did, you know. And when we'd beaten them so well down here, you know, and everyone was at it, and, you know, we went into the semi-final very confident. But they came out and played like their lives depended on it. I don't think we did, you know. We had some good performances in the final, but too many, like I say, just had off nights. And you've got to be good in the big games. And you know, if you're planning to do well this year, which we hope to do, then they're big games every week. You know, so you want people that you can look in the eye when you walk in the dressing room and rely on them week in, week out, that they're going to be at it. The other semi-final we made, the London Cup, I thought was exceptional right away through that, you know, that tournament. But every round we played teams and leagues above us, and to a game we were superb in every one, and no more so than the Brentford game. Obviously, sort of made me feelings felt that we weren't at home, we should have been home, and that could have made a hell of a difference. But the performance we put on that night, we were a better team. I think we had 16 shots there, 7. But as it happens in football, sometimes when you don't always get what you deserve, and I thought we deserved to win it. And it's unfortunate we didn't. But all in all, on the back of that, like 2 semi-finals and to finish so clearly in the playoffs was promising for the season ahead.
Going on to this season,
yeah,
it's your first main target to make us a Craig Edwards side, because I think last year there wasn't didn't come in and make a massive influx of players. You sort of carried on as much as you could with a squad ahead.
Exactly. You know, I think other than Woodford, who we drew with last game, we beat everyone in the top 6. So it showed that we had the ability and we could do it. But as I emphasised, you know, when it really matters, that's when you need players in, if you like. And it's, you know, it's the first playoff game I've lost. But I'll generally walk into a dressing room with my better sides, and sides that have won things with us, and won playoff matches, won leagues, won cups. And you look around, you think, I know what I'm getting from these boys, you know. And I couldn't hand on heart say that last year. You know, we had good performances and we had a few quite sticky ones, particularly towards the end with, you know, with if you like, full due respect, the lesser teams. The bottom, we struggled with a few of them to beat them. And it was I wouldn't say we was inconsistent, because, you know, we won most of our games, and we had a really good run to the end of the season. But I didn't have that same level of belief that we would necessarily win the big games, you know. And so that's what we'll be looking to improve on this season. And already you've seen with the sessions, we've got a lot of big characters in there, and, you know, looking forward to the season. But the league looks very, very tough. You know, sides coming down and across and up. It looks a really, really tough league this year. So I think it's going to be every bit as tough as last year. But we'll approach it like that we're as good as anyone in there.
How have you found pre-season so far with the new squad?
They've been amazing. I mean, Saturday. And any of my teams that have played for me before, or boys that have played, they know what the first session is. And it was just hot like the day. There was a cloud in the sky. There was a bit of shade, and the levels of fitness was fantastic. I was really, really pleased with them. And not just their fitness, it was their attitude. you know, and the desire. And a lot of the time when you get a new team in, a lot of new boys, dressing room, you could hear a pin drop at the beginning, you know, and it's a little bit uncomfortable for boys. But I knew they were all good lads. But by the end of the session, it's like they've been together for 3 years, you know, and that's what it did. It bonds people. You know, obviously their fitness levels were through the roof, really good. Then we had the trialist game on Sunday, and we had 2 or 3 that had come through that looked really good prospects. And you know, the one in particular I think will feature in the early games pre-season. I see every reason to believe he'll be a real good player for us in the season. So yeah, it's going really well. Like I say, the attitudes of the boys, the camaraderie and the desire, and already the banter, you know, it's really, really good. And to have them together, this is like the really second session, because there's not really been any of them in for the 3 sessions. So second session, you wouldn't believe it, seeing them all together. That, you know, they've worked really hard, but they've had a great crack, you know, so pleased.
You've retained 8 players from last year.
Yeah.
When looking at the rest of the squad, what are the main characteristics you're looking at in players to
character? You know, I really want good characters, you know, and people that, you know, like I say, I can rely on, you know, that if we'll lose games next year, but I want if we lose, because everyone going to lose a game of football, no matter who you are. But I want everyone to know, as we walk up, all the supporters walking up, that they've had a team give everything they can. And sometimes it don't go for you. Sometimes you don't get the rub of the green. You get decisions go against you. All sorts of things. But you know, I want everyone to know that every game we're going to be at it, and we're going to want to really show that we're one of the better sides in the league.
And then on to Saturday, first couple of pre-season games, the Community Trophy. What are you looking to see from the squad?
Well, it'd be, you know, 2 tough games, 2 very, very tough games. I won't be looking too much into the bigger picture, if you like, because one thing you can be sure then, we're not going to have the organisation that we would have in 3-4 weeks. You know, there's a lot of new faces in there. We'll have a lot of ability, we'll have a lot of endeavour, and we're playing against 2 very good sides. We're playing a side who's just come out of step 2 into step 3, and we're playing probably one of the favourites to win step 4. You know, so it's going to be a real test for us. But like I say, it's not the be all and end all. It's to see where we are, who we think is best in certain positions, who's gonna really figure, and it's up to the boys to show that I want that shirt, you know. And then yeah, we go into games. Like I think this pre-season looks very, very good, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Right, cheers, Craig.
Cheers, pal. Thank you, boys.